Welcome to Dark Psychology World channel. In personality tests, people often ponder, am I an extrovert or an introvert? Am I more calm or irritable? I tend to do what I like, not necessarily what I need to do. But few people notice the deeper aspects of their personality, the hidden dark side. Today, I'm going to discuss a unique concept, the Dark Triad personality, which is related to manipulative personalities. This Dark Triad personality test measures how much of a dark side people have. But first, let me explain what the Dark Triad personality is. There will be some mini-tests later. If you're interested, keep reading. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Alright, enough chit-chat. Let's dive in. The Dark Triad personality, as the name suggests, is composed of three dark traits: Machiavellianism, Narcissism, and Psychopathy. You might think that psychopathy is obviously a dark trait, but you might wonder, is narcissism also a dark trait? And what exactly is Machiavellianism? Let's start with Machiavellianism. During the Italian Renaissance, a philosopher, statesman, and diplomat named Machiavelli wrote a book called The Prince. This book advocates for political amorality and Machiavellian thinking. In other words, to maintain power, a ruler should achieve their goals by any means necessary, even if it involves immoral methods. Although it doesn't completely abandon morality, it does sound quite dark. Fast forward to the 1960s, about 60 years ago, psychologists Richard Christie and Florence Geis utilized some of these concepts when studying and analyzing manipulative people. They developed a test of individual differences in manipulative personality for ordinary people, and it yielded good results. Therefore, people who are manipulative exhibit Machiavellianism. In simple terms, Machiavellianism refers to those who will do whatever it takes to achieve their goals, often manipulating and taking advantage of others. They are immoral, disregard principles, and use conspiracy and tricks. They are selfish, only aiming to achieve their own interests. Narcissism actually has a backstory rooted in Greek mythology. The river god Cephissus had a son named Narcissus, who was the most handsome man in Greece. Women all over Greece were captivated by him. But Narcissus, full of pride, looked down on others. He mercilessly rejected all who tried to woo him, breaking many hearts. As a result, the goddess Nemesis decided to teach Narcissus a lesson. Narcissus, who had never seen his own reflection, one day passed a pool while returning from a hunt. He accidentally saw his own handsome face reflected in the water and was so attracted by it that he couldn't leave the pool. He eventually wasted away from his obsession with his own reflection and died. Where he died, a daffodil sprouted, which is why Narcissus also symbolizes narcissism. So, narcissism, named after Narcissus, isn't just about self-maintenance and self-love. It refers to the pathological manifestation of excessive self-centeredness. Narcissists often feel superior to others and have a habit of self-aggrandizement. They crave praise and recognition from others and often indulge in the fantasy that they are special or unique. To satisfy their own psychological needs, narcissists constantly seek benefits from others, which could be material or mental. However, when narcissism reaches a certain stage, narcissists can become perpetrators, exerting control and causing harm to those around them, especially the vulnerable. Narcissistic personality disorder belongs to type B personality disorders, which also include antisocial and borderline personalities. Alright, next up is psychopathy. This has been discussed before. It's considered the most typical of the antisocial personality disorders. It's characterized by frequent antisocial behavior, lack of empathy, pursuit of sensory stimulation, fearlessness, impulsiveness, and lack of willpower. As a result, these individuals are prone to drug abuse and criminal behavior. When they act immorally, they don't just lack guilt, they actually enjoy it. You know those twisted murderers who take pleasure in killing people? That's the kind of person we're talking about. These three characteristics come together to form what's known as the Dark Triad personality. This concept was first proposed by a psychology professor at Columbia University, Deroy Paul Huss, and Kevin Williams in 2002. But here's the thing, this Dark Triad personality isn't about extreme narcissists or crazy psychopaths. It's about the psychological level of the general public, the negative psychology in everyone's heart. Most people have some narcissistic tendencies, but it doesn't lead to a diagnosis of true narcissistic personality. Sometimes uncontrollable impulsiveness might align with psychopathic traits, but it's not enough to be called a true psychopath. The greed of human nature, the tricks used to get what you want, can involve Machiavellianism, but not everyone has these dark traits. Here's an important point to emphasize. Just because everyone has the potential for dark traits doesn't mean they're not normal. But where there's light, there will naturally be shadows. Everyone can choose between light and darkness. Of course, it's a wise choice to turn from darkness to light. In fact, most people's light is enough to defeat darkness. This was confirmed in a study by social psychologist Peter Jonathan. Okay, let's test it out for everyone. We'll use Peter Jonathan and Gregory Webster's Dark Triad personality test. Before we start, let me make it clear that I'm not a professional tester. This is just a basic reference, not an absolute conclusion. Here's how it works. There are 12 questions in total. You'll choose your level of agreement with each statement from strongly disagree to strongly agree. Score 1 point for strongly disagreeing, 2 points if you disagree more, 3 points for somewhat agreeing, 4 points for neutral, 5 points for somewhat agreeing, 6 points for agreeing, and 7 points for strongly agreeing. Here are the questions. 1. I've complimented someone to get what I want. 2. I usually don't blame myself or feel remorse. 3. I will use others to achieve my own goals. 4. I usually don't care if my behavior is ethical. 5. I tend to pursue fame or status. 6. I want others to admire me. 7. I have cheated or lied to get what I want. 8. I am relatively indifferent and don't care much about other people's feelings. 9. I tend to manipulate others to get what I want. 10. I usually expect special treatment from others. 11. I want other people's attention. 12. I care more about my own interests and can ignore social norms to achieve goals. Add up all the scores at the end. According to Jonathan's research, the average score for the average person is 36 points, and most people score between 33 to 39 points. If your score exceeds 45 points, that means you have quite a dark personality. The 12 questions include 4 about Machiavellianism, 4 about Narcissism, and 4 about Psychopathy. You can add up your scores for these 3 groups of questions to see where you stand out most among these 3 dark qualities. Dark Triad traits have many things in common, like being aggressive, cold, ruthless, manipulative, and antisocial. But they also have key differences. For example, the first sign of narcissism is pride, self-centeredness, and self-superiority. It's like thinking you're a noble person in the world and everyone should praise and compliment you. Psychopaths are known for their empathy, thrill-seeking behavior, and impulsiveness. They often disregard social norms. Machiavellians, on the other hand, put self-interest first. They're total egoists who only care about the end result, regardless of how unethical the means might be. When it comes to control, narcissists often belittle others to maintain their superiority. Psychopaths use more direct methods like violence, threats, and coercion. Machiavellians use deep conspiracies and psychological manipulation to influence others. They're the epitome of a manipulative personality. Narcissists with sociopathic tendencies will go to great lengths to achieve their goals, even if it means harming others through slander and defamation. Antisocial behavior, criminal damage, and drug abuse are not uncommon among psychopaths. Machiavellians, in their pursuit of their goals, engage in all sorts of unscrupulous and unethical behavior. They're like the final boss hiding behind the scenes, secretly laying traps. That's a brief introduction to the Dark Triad personality. Remember, this isn't about labeling yourself or determining how dark you are. It's about better understanding yourself. If you find areas for improvement, don't worry about past mistakes. Just seize the next opportunity. I hope everyone can make the right choices and have a bright future. But wait, don't go just yet. There are 2 videos next to this one that you might also like. Feel free to check them out. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share these interesting insights with your family and friends. Don't forget to hit the subscribe bell to get notified about new videos. This is the Dark Psychology World channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.